Hello, Rama Pupodu. Hi all, hope all are in good health, feeling relaxed, having a peaceful life, and happy always. Now let's start with chapter 8 Hubli, part 1 Heart of the Mother. Ramdas once again started alone on foot. He walked on and on through fields, meadows, and woodlands. About a week's satsang with the village devotees had assuaged his grief in connection with the incident at the Annakshetra at Pandharpur. The Lord had brought it about in his own mysterious way. He is truly the great healer of our sorrows. As he journeyed on, he came upon an elevated land covered with a wild growth of shrubs. When he was passing through it, a wish to smoke arose in his mind. He smoked tobacco sometimes, but did not carry any with him. Where was the possibility of having a smoke in the midst of a jungle, a solitary place far away from the haunts of men? But for the Lord, nothing is impossible. Suddenly, a man from behind the bushes came forward towards him. Looking at him, the first thing Ramdas noticed was a bidi, a country leaf cigarette, poised on his ear. The man quietly removed the bidi from the place on his ear and offered it to Ramdas. He would not touch Ramdas. He dropped the bidi into his hands, then taking out from his pockets 2 smooth black stones and a bit of cotton wool, and striking the stones one against the other, he produced a spark that set fire to that piece of cotton. He handed the burning cotton to Ramdas on a leaf. Ramdas lit the bidi and began smoking. All this was the work of a few seconds. So far, Ramdas had no talk with him. They walked side by side, but he maintained a certain distance from Ramdas. Ramdas broke the silence with a question. Why do you, brother, shrink away from Ramdas and walk so far apart? Oh, master, he replied, I am a pariah by caste. How can I go very near you or touch your sacred person? No sooner did Ramdas hear this than he rushed towards the pariah and, throwing his arms around his shoulders, embraced him. You are not an untouchable. You are Lord Vithoba himself. Are you not the same dead who ran to the rescue of Damaji Pant, the noted saint of Mangalveda? He laughed knowingly and recapitulated the incident. Now, master, where are you going? He asked. Don't know where, was Ramdas' reply. He said, 2 miles from here, there is a tiny village on the banks of the river Bhima. Do proceed to that village. It has only one shop. You go and stand before the shop, and the Lord will attend to all your needs. I can escort you as far as the outskirts of the village. My way lies in a different direction. Ramdas acquiesced. There was no further talk. He was merged in a blissful abstraction. The village loomed in view. He made straight for it. He was now only about 50 yards from the village huts when he turned back to look for his strange companion. The so-called pariah had disappeared. The sun had risen right overhead. As advised by him, Ramdas stopped before the only shop of the village. An unusually stout woman was attending to the customers with the help of a young man. The mother saw Ramdas. Suddenly, her maternal heart went out for her child. The lone wanderer, brushing aside the customers who had crowded in front of her shop, she beckoned him with both hands to draw near. Son, son, she said to the young man by her, give this sadhu first something to eat. Soon, in the outstretched cloth of Ramdas rained a pretty large quantity of parched rice, jaggery, dates, etc. The stout mother jumped down from a seat in the shop and called for the blanket. With the blanket, she stepped as quickly as her heavy body could permit to the veranda of the Mahadev'smandir on the other side of the road opposite to her shop. Spreading the blanket on the floor, she invited him to take a seat. He was duly installed on the blanket. She also offered a lota of drinking water for him. The mother squatted opposite to him and tenderly urged him to eat. By this time, a number of small boys had gathered round him. He distributed a major portion of the eatables among the children and partook of some of them and drank the water. Sadhuji, the mother said, the river Bhima is nearby. Have your ablutions in the river and return. I shall have meals ready for you. My house is close at hand. I shall either take you home or fetch the meal over here. He got up and traced his steps to the river, where he washed his clothes and had a bath. Returning, he found the mother waiting for him. Come along, Sadhuji, she said. I am taking you home. He followed her. The sun was very hot and the ground was burning. He had nothing either to cover his head or to protect his feet. About halfway, the mother realized the situation. Her soft heart felt the pangs of remorse. What a heartless creature am I, she cried. I ought not to have taken you out in this hot sun. I could have brought meals for you in the temple. You have no sandals on your feet. The ground is hot like a frying pan. Fool that I am. The mother had, of course, leather sandals on her feet. Hence, her remorse was all the more poignant. Never mind, mother, he assured her. Your child is accustomed to the heat. Come on, let us walk quickly. We have only a short distance to cover, she said. Her unwieldly body swayed to and fro as she hastened on. They arrived at the door of a cottage, but to her great dismay, it was locked, for her daughter-in-law had gone to the neighboring house, closing the door. She had the key. Her return would surely take some time, and Ramdas, meanwhile, had no place to stand but in the sun. The mother called out, Lakshmi, Lakshmi, drawing deep breaths, she spoke. What shall I do? You have to stand barefooted on the burning sand. She found the way out. She lifted Ramdas bodily up from behind. He was featherweight to her and held him standing on the lower cross piece of the door frame and bawled out for her Lakshmi, who at last came running. She could not resist giving a bit of her mind to the daughter-in-law, and a goodly slice it was too. Inside the house, he took a seat on a plank offered by the mother. At her bidding, the girl Lakshmi placed before him a plate of food, which consisted of 2 thick rotis and dal curry. He started eating. He found the rotis stiff and unyielding to the fingers. However, he attempted to crush and mix them with the dal. They would not submit to the process. He put some pieces of roti with dal into the mouth and began to swallow them. Of course, it must be noted that he had at that time hardly 3 or 4 teeth in the mouth, so mastication was out of the question. He swallowed the rotis piece after piece until a big-sized bit got stuck up in the throat. Suffocation ensued. He tried to push down the bit or throw it out by a cough. The mother watched the struggle, and light dawned on her. She exclaimed, Cursed by me, wits! Lakshmi, are you also so blind? The sadhu has no teeth, and you have served him with cold and stiff rotis. How can he eat them? Now look, his throat is choked. Good Lord, Lakshmi, you are perfectly heartless. You have not offered him even water for drink. Quick, quick, give him some water. See, his face has turned red. He is gasping for breath. Immediately, a water tumbler was placed in his hands and he drank. The piece of roti washed down the throat. Now the mother pounced upon the plate of food, and while taking it away said, This is going to do you no good. Lakshmi, she told the girl, prepare at once fresh rotis. Make them soft. Look to it at once. While Lakshmi was busy, the mother milked the she-buffalo standing in the square yard in the center of the building. In a few minutes, she heated the milk. Lakshmi's trained hands made soft rotis. The mother crushed two of them in hot milk in a plate. The softened meal was then placed before him. Sadhuji, the mother then appealed, "You must forgive me. I am, after all, an inconsiderate and useless woman. Forgive me. The food is now all right. Please do justice to it." After dinner, the mother accompanied him back to the temple and, taking leave of him, returned to her home. Such was the heart of the mother. He directly started on his journey and walked until sunset, when he reached a wayside village. That's all, folks. Let's see in the next chapter. Thank you. Bye bye. Rama Rama Poopodu.